Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today, like in every video I say, it's going to be super exciting. I went with a friend to a couple nurseries around my area. Victoria, she's in my Master Gardener group. She also got a lot of cool plants, but today, I'm off today. It's Good Friday, so I took advantage and I wanted some concrete statues. So let me show you my friend that I got. This beautiful angel. She's in my front garden bed. It's on the corner of the house, and so it's kind of like an anchor, but she's about probably 3 to 3.5 feet tall. It's just perfect size, and I just absolutely love it. So I gotta show you this edition. Super excited about. The main thing that I want to show you that we're going to plant two big trees today. I got this beautiful, I love pendula, which means weeping. That's what I think my favorite characteristics of a tree. Kind of like the weeping Alaskan cedar that's coming probably in the next video. But this is a weeping blue spruce, and it's pretty much at its maturity with its tall. I think it get about 6 to 8 feet tall, and it'll just kind of get a little bit wider. So I thought it would be a great area. They do like full sun. The more sun they get, the more blue it will show off. So I'm going to put it in this area. This is the I guess this would be the south and west of the garden, so it will get full sun, and it's right by my North Pole arborvitae, which it gets I think 15 to 20 feet tall and 4 to 5 feet wide. So I'm going to kind of put it in this little corner pocket. And it's a B&B, which means ball and burlap. A lot of them, this is the burlap. A lot of them do have cages. Luckily, this one just has like a really strong twine on it. So I'm going to cut that off, remove that. I'll expose the root, and then I'll show you after that. I have my handy dandy auger. This is the big old power planter. I'm just going to drill probably about like 8 or so holes. And then that way I think it'll be a little bit easier to take my shovel and dig in. So the root ball is probably at least, it's big and it's very heavy, probably 2 by 2. And so you want to go at least double that. So I'm going to have to do a really big hole, and I'm going to hit it with, like every other plant, compost. I have a little bit of soil acidifier. They like a little bit slightly more acidic soil. And then plant tone and the biotone, since it is a new transplant, I want to get those roots nice and healthy. Okay, so I just finished digging my hole, and I know I've said before on smaller plants, but this is a perfect example. So this is like a smooth area, and so what I'm going to do next is, so see over here on these walls, it's very like smooth, you know? Well, that is going to be very hard for the roots to penetrate. So all I'm going to do is roughen up those edges, and it kind of softens up the area, so the roots have something easier to grow into, because that's what you want. You want it to root in. That way it'll be more resistant to wind. I'm just going to go like this and like this, like a cross section. And this is probably like I would say maybe 2 foot deep hole and maybe 3 foot wide hole. You know, I like to go twice as big as the root ball. This will be fine, but you know, this is like fill dirt, it's like 50% rock, and it's very hard work. So I think this hole will suffice. And after I just roughen up these edges, I'm going to put a layer of the compost down with probably soil acidifier and plant tone mix. Put the root ball in, and then I'll probably do the biotone on top of the root ball and kind of work that in. But yeah, we're very close. Here's my compost. I'm probably going to do half the bag. There we go. Now I'm going to do soil acidifier. These are just called amendments. I'm probably just going to use a handful, like a half cup to a cup, like a fistful. Maybe one more. This is the Espoma soil acidifier. This is the same exact thing that I put on the Pieris. This is great stuff. And then I'm also going to use Plant Tone. This is a 533, very good. It's higher in nitrogen. It's all-purpose. That's one of my favorites. I always keep that in stock. And now the next thing, I'm going to introduce the compost and the natural soil. Work all that in, because you want to introduce the tree or whatever you're planting to the natural soil as soon as possible. That way it won't have like transplant shock or anything like that, because that's what the majority of the life of the tree or whatever you're planting, the majority of it is going to be in the natural soil. I'm just roughing up the walls, mixing all of the fertilizer in. So next will be unveiling the root ball. So I'm just going to put that in. And you do want trees like this, evergreens, you want them a little bit higher because they prefer well-drained soil, and these rocks and stuff, that's perfect. So if I had like loam is great, anything like that that will easily let the water run through is good. If I didn't, I'd probably put a layer of gravel down if you have really compacted soil, that the rocks will provide good runoff, or, you know, they don't like wet feet. Okay, so I'm just going to take the burlap off and then put the tree in there, and then I'll come back. All right, so this beautiful is in the ground. I'm so excited. The last thing that we have to do is I'm going to water it in very deep. That way it will soften up all the soil around it. And that way it's like thirsty, it can thrive, it can be happy here. And then we are going to stake it in. We're going to use some stakes, some twine or something, and something to wrap around the bark, something very like cushiony or rubber or something like that. That way when it grows, we'll probably have to leave the stakes in probably the whole, maybe all summer season. That way it can kind of root in, because we've been getting a lot of wind and it's already kind of moving. So I'll just feel a little bit more comfortable. We're going to put it on 3 sides, and yeah, then that way it'll be secure. It looks fantastic here. All right, so now let's go to the north garden. All right, so now we are in my north garden, west garden. This is a Cotoneaster, and I actually have one in the backyard. It's I think it's prostrate, so it's low growing shrub, but this is on a grafted, it's on a standard. So I think the roots is on a cranberry, and then the trunk might be a cherry, and then it's grafted with the Cotoneaster. But right now it's so beautiful. Has little pink blooms, and then it will give all seasonal interest. So these will eventually turn to bright red berries, and it will just, I think it'll pretty much stay at the same height. It might get maybe, I don't want to say more than a foot taller than what it is, but it's just going to, it's a pendula, it's a weeping, it's just going to grow out, fill out more, and get a little bit more dense. So this, I'm super excited about that. It's going to go in the corner. The only thing I have to do is to move this hosta, and it's going to go right in this area with the begonias, oxalis. I'm actually going to leave that rose there, see how it goes, because there's some openings. I think they'll just marry in perfectly, and this will provide enough sun in this area for them to be happy. All right, so our beautiful Cotoneaster is in the ground. I did a little bit of trimming. I found a spot that, because I think this white rose gets 3 by 3. So this area right here, I kind of pruned around it, any low-lying lying limbs, but now it can grow, thrive, root in really good. Really the only thing we have to do with this is to mulch around it, but I cannot wait. It's already putting on beautiful pink blooms, and in the fall, going into winter time, it will have bright red berries. So like I said, this is probably about the height it's going to stay at, and then it's just going to get a little bit more dense. Oh, I can't wait. All right, y'all, so this is the last thing today. I'm whooped, I'm worn out. These trees have gotten the best of me, but this is the last thing. So this is an Itoh Peony. That's one thing I do not have in the garden. I got it from Mennonite up in Kentucky, but it's already putting on a bloom here, and it's going to get a 3 by 3. I don't really know what color it is or the variety or anything, but I already have 5 holes right here I dug with my auger. So I'm going to dig it out with my spade shovel, put it in there, and obviously use my bitone, plant tone, give it all the amendments, some soil, and I'm going to plant it in between the new Weeping Blue Spruce and the North Pole Arborvitae, and then that way we can mulch and maybe put a bench in here. But I think that, like I said, and we have our new friend, the angel. I'm super excited about that. So be looking forward to the next video where I'm going to be planting some new Loropetalum and Spirea and maybe a few other things. So we're getting closer and closer to May 10th, which is my Master Gardener garden tour. So thank you for joining me today, and hope you're inspired and get out in your garden. Bye, y'all.